afternoon, and welcome to the Cloud Native Coffee Hour. My name is Dan Makita.
Your name's
Dan
what?
McCracken. My name is Dan Makita, and this is my friend, Dan McCracken. Say hello, Dan.
How y'all doing?
I think we should acknowledge that we were separated at birth, and fate has twisted many things in between our realities, including you and I both had big days yesterday of our life. Did we not? We did. We share May 28th as a birth date for McCracken and anniversary for Makita. Congratulations, Dan.
You too. Congratulations on getting another year older.
It honestly feels like congratulations in order. So I do appreciate it a lot. Thank you.
At what age is it almost like a zing to say, "Hey, congratulations on your birthday"?
I think when you're young, it's a zing, and now it's like, I'm legit happy about it. Couldn't be
You made
happier.
it another year.
Yep, all my limbs are attached, and I can draw breath. And hey, let's get after it. So
It's funny.
We're hilarious. I'm just checking our stream on YouTube. We're live on YouTube. Hello, YouTube. Last time, I'm trying to add one new thing to the stream to see if we can see YouTube comments, because we did have a commenter on YouTube, and we ignored him as we normally do because it was Sam. We don't normally ignore Sam, but if you comment on YouTube, we don't see those at the moment, and so we need to get smarter and figure out how to make that work. But the stream is live there, and we appreciate everybody watching us there. We have a potpourri of topics. I mean, these topics go hand in hand. I feel like I want to start out with a lifestyle topic. What say you?
Sounds great. Is this the thing I just sent you?
Well, of course.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so this is just something that hit my email today, and I just thought, maybe the people that watch us would be interested in this. We love custom keyboards. We've been into custom keyboards for many a year. I think we both have kind of reached our happy place. I think we have the keyboards built the way we want, and we have ones that are at our homes and at our office, and we're happy. We're not currently building any new keyboards, but little things pop up here and there that are like, hey, that's kind of cool. So if you guys are familiar with a keyboard company called RamaWorks,
I've heard of them.
I'm not going to give the whole background story here, but Rama's girlfriend decided to start her own company, which she did, and it's called Hebe Design. And if you want to pull that up real quick, she creates her own keyboards, but she also has a whole bunch of just weird little gadgets that she makes. She's an industrial designer by trade, and she's applying that to the keyboard enthusiast marketplace. And this just popped up today for pre-order, called the Pocket Puller. And we have a lot of pullers. I actually have one on my desk right now. I have this it's a little dusty. I have this little guy, and it's not the greatest. I have to separate it to use it by hand and everything. But the reason I got it is it's red and it matches my keyboard, which I really like. I'll actually hold that up too. This is my keyboard. My blur effect is giving issues, but there you go. It usually has a gold plate, but anyways, she created this little pocket puller. It looks high quality. Everything she makes is pretty nice. So I don't know. I just thought I would throw that out there. If anybody else is a custom keyboard enthusiast, check out Hebe.mx, and you can check out all the little accessories she makes, including the pocket puller.
So let's review this. I love keycap pullers. Having a good one is key to having custom keyboards and a billion cap sets like I have, some of which are still new in box. If you're interested, DM me, I guess. Are you telling me there's only is this a single unit here puller? Is this an asynchronous or is this a unsymmetrical pull? Are you trying to tell me that?
I don't know. What I'm looking at, if I hold mine up, mine looks like a single too. even from like the edge, but it's actually 2. You just have to separate them. But that looks like a single puller.
I mean, I see if I'm trying to be very kind, I do see kind of like 2 little marks here, so maybe there's a shadow. Okay. Now this looks like a single. I don't know. Gosh, it's weird. Then here you see
there's 2. There's 2. There's got to be 2. You have to grab both sides of the keycap evenly to. There's 2.
They don't make it obvious, but if there's not 2, send it back and she'll put another one on there. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I like the switchblade. My favorite custom. I don't have it on me. It's in my toolbox. It's in my keyboard toolbox. I think it's out of titanium. It's a titanium switch puller.
Switch breaker.
Switch break. No, it's the puller.
Oh, the
titanium puller. And I have the switch breaker. It's not titanium. It's just whatever. Aluminum. Milled aluminum. But this sucker is titanium, so it's really springy and light. It's kind of
cool. You have to show me that. I don't feel like you've shown me that.
Wow. You don't know everything about me, Dan, I guess. But yeah, I got that. I got that a while ago, and it was around the time that we were getting. I was buying some other stuff for Sam's custom board that we gifted him. So I think it was.
I think she also has a. Go to the pre-order real quick again. Scroll down. She had a like a stand, a keyboard stand. Did you see that thing? Yeah, there it is.
It's just the stand.
Yeah.
Okay. It's at this point in time that I'm sorry, Miss Phoebe. I cannot support you for this. I wish you luck in selling dozens of these. But holy moly. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't know how much it costs. Yeah. She also made a mahjong set.
Wait a minute. This is supposed to be for a dozen. Oh, it's for a 10-pack. Thank God. There we go. $30. All right, I'm back in business, baby. We can do this. Yeah, I could do it. For $32, I need 2 of these. It's actually beautiful.
I thought it was cool. Yeah, I didn't remember it being $230. I wouldn't buy it for $230. That's crazy.
I'm too busy using that keyboard. All right.
Anyways, that was my little walk-on topic.
Okay. Yes, and I don't know, if people aren't using custom keyboards, I barely have the time to talk to them. Just kidding. Kind of. But I can't use a regular keyboard anymore. So thank you, Frankita, for ruining me, and hopefully we've ruined lots of other people who want to become enthusiasts and can go to the subreddit, which will teach you everything you need to know. It's just subreddit mechanical keyboards, and have a nice 3 years of your life and however much you can afford. But it'll go away bye-bye very quickly.
And Mac Market. Always good on Mac Market.
And Mac Market. Okay, so good. That was a little I like that switch puller. $80. It's a little steep for a switch puller, but it is a switch blade switch puller, so maybe you could kind of like carry it and be like, hey.
I feel like it's something that you keep on your desk and you play with a little bit too. Yeah, you click it and it just flips out. You put it back in.
You're trying to tell me it's an $80 fidget spinner. Now I want this fidget spinner. All right. So, speaking of things I spent way too much money on, today's stream topic is around the KCSA. Have you heard of it?
I have.
Okay. The KCSA is one of the newer CNCF training and certification programs called the Kubernetes and Cloud Security Associate designation. Now, we've talked about this the last couple streams. This is one of the 5 now that make up the kubestronaut, the kubernaut. And we said we were going to change that, or we were going to submit that. It needs to be kubernaut. The kubernaut, to get the whole cycle, and then you get the code. But it's good. It's in cloud native security. And we've, Sam and I can't remember if you attempted the CKS or didn't go down that road too hard. Did you get the CKS? Did you attempt it?
I attempted it. I did not pass it the first time, and I just got too busy, and I didn't retake. I didn't use my free retake. So
that, and you would agree that test, you go real deep in, like, you are managing Kubernetes. You can go view the audit history of Kubernetes. You're snooping etcd. You basically learn how to white hack a little bit. I mean, you kind of learn what those attack surfaces are, how you might catch a hacker, how you might catch to see if stuff's going on in your system, how to prevent, like, all the little tiny bits, granular detail.
I learned a lot on studying for that one. There's things that I did as a part of, like, the study material that I didn't even know were possible, to be honest. Like, you could you could deploy a new pod, and if the permissions weren't set up correctly on a volume or a secret, you could connect to it and see those secrets decoded in your extra pod. And there's just all sorts of little things. I was like, oh, it just made you understand things better. So I highly recommend it if you're interested.
And hopefully, and here's where the stream title is provocatively named, "Is it worth it?" KCSA, is it worth it? So this is the associate. This is the intro level. Is it worth it? So maybe this is geared towards somebody, or I would guess this is probably geared towards somebody who manages Kubernetes, probably CKA land, or you're at least interested in managing your own Kubernetes instances. And this is like the high school level, hey, we're going to show you the playing field, probably. Here's the big picture when we think about security, cloud native security, and the attack surfaces for Kubernetes. My hope is here's what it looks like. Think about different ways about how people could penetrate your system. Think about the things you need to secure as an administrator. Maybe not doing all those things in practice, but like you said, just doing the study for CKS, even if you take it, man, you learn a breadth of stuff that you might never know about if you're just an administrator or just a developer who plugs into some Argo pipeline and their DevOps and your DevOps people handle everything. It's really important to know in today's age, like, what's going on and what's at least capable. So then you know when to ask questions. And that's why I like taking these things. That's why I like learning new things. It's because, like, well, I might not always stay an expert in it, but I at least know enough to say, I need to ask a question. I need to ask somebody about this, or I need to chat GPT, get something going to just get this out of my head and see if there's something there. So is it worth it? I will report back after I take this exam on Friday. I'm taking this exam Friday afternoon, so my phone will be silent, so can't interrupt me anyway, but I'll be taking this Friday afternoon. I haven't been thinking about it, but I knew we were probably going to chat about it today. I'm a little nervous about it.
Really?
A little nervous about it, and there's a couple of reasons. The main one is they don't really tell you a lot. So if I'm gonna, is it worth it? If I'm gonna be critical here of the CNCF, like, I don't know what's in this. I don't know what's in this. I know this little syllabus here. Overview of cloud native security. I think I can walk into this. I'm pretty sure. Component security. I know the names of a lot of these things. I should be able to walk into this.
I mean, you have your CKS, which should be much harder. It's more the applicable knowledge, though.
security fundamentals. I feel like I can walk into that. The threat model. I really want to do some clicking about this on stream here today. The threat model, because I don't even know. I have an idea about what that might be, but I want to Google this today. I feel like that's a gap. I don't put the words to the concept, and that's what taking a test makes you do. It's like, well, you got to use your words.
I've never heard that term before. The Kubernetes threat model.
So
like that seems so generic. I don't know what that means.
So good. If you're a little,
what's the candidate handbook? Does it go into any more detail?
Candidate handbook,
or is it just the show up on time?
Show up on time
thing.
I will try very hard not to just complain about how bad the PSI online system is to use.
It's really bad.
It's really bad. The last 20 times any of us have tried, and we're good at it, and it's still bad. And I always leave a scathing review of like, hey, you have to fix this. This is the worst
that's
user experience ever.
I actually do. I'm not gonna come up with excuses type of guy. I'm not. So when I say this, it says something that when I took the CKS exam that I failed, I scheduled it like for like 7 at night. It was like the only time available or something. So 7 at night. It took me an hour and a half just to like get into the exam.
Yep.
And they count that time against you. Cause if you like get in, but then you get kicked out, they count like when you first got in. So like I used up like 45 minutes of my time just trying to get back into the exam. And by that time it was like 8:30. And I was burnt out. I was angry. So I just like skipped half the test. And I was like, fuck it. And then I just was so mad. Sorry. So hard.
It's maddening enough to F-bomb about it, to be completely fair. Because your first experience is you're dealing with a proctor who's trying to do their job, I think, but man, when you're dealing with that proctor and they're like, put your ID closer, and you're talking to them and you're like, person, I can't put it any closer. I need to, this is my ID. This is as good as my webcam does. Oh my gosh. And yeah, there's a lot of rage. There's a lot of rage. And you start off completely on the wrong foot. And you got to calm your heart rate down and then go take a test that's hard. So I'm hoping that this is the multiple choice version of the test. It should be easy peasy, but you still got to get into the test. And, this stream isn't going to be going over how to take this test. If people are interested in that, we can do more of those in the future. We've done those before. I think Sam, we had a past stream on this that I think still holds completely true. So we can link that if somebody's interested, but you got to clear off your desk. It's a pain in the butt.
I feel like I remember, when I was helping our intern study for his thing, it was one of these kind of like higher level ones, right? Where it's like kind of more like a general knowledge in this area type test. What was that one called?
KCNA.
The KCNA. And he was giving me some of the questions and I was getting them wrong, but they were really weird questions. It was like, which of these 5 CNIs is the most popular? Mm-hmm. And he reads me the list and I'm like, okay, well, I'm pretty sure flannel's the most popular. And it's like, nope, weave. I'm like, well, what constitutes popularity here? Like, what is this question? Like, it was just such a weird question to me, and it kind of tilted me. And it wasn't the only one. There was like 3 or 4 where it was just very nebulous in how it was worded. I felt bad for him.
Yeah, agree. And I have the same. I have the same amount of skepticism going into this test because I also helped him with a lot of practice questions, and some of them were like, "You're holding like an associate level certification around that question or around these types of questions." Like, nobody uses this in practice, or at least not in 7 years have I ever needed to use this in practice. Barely heard of it. And like, I don't know. So we will see. I'm skeptical because when I took the KCNA, Sam and I took early versions of that in the beta before it came out from KubeCon, and it was fine. But since I think the questions got weird, I think they got a little weird, and I don't know about the CKS. I hope that it's, just a good test of knowledge. Hey, here are the attack surfaces. Here is the threat model, which brings us to.
I just sent you a PDF.
You've got it. I am pulling up the PDF. He's happy about it. Okay, boom.
I'm happy because of that background picture there of that fuzzy animal.
Okay.
It's gone.
That wasn't as good. Okay. This is old. This is cool. Okay. Well, let's take a look. Let's do it live. Did you look at this already? It seems pretty legit.
I didn't go super in depth, but it looked like it was in line with what we're trying to figure out.
Okay. The threat model reviewed Kubernetes components across 6 control families. Component-focused threat model. So somebody did an audit. This
looks like it. It's called Kubernetes Audit or Audit Kubernetes.
Audit Kubernetes reports the threat model. Okay. Networking.
Unless you have something better.
I was going to Google it or ask chat. I was going to Google it. This is kind of interesting. Just the terminology threat model I don't use often. So what comes up? Kubernetes threat modeling. I think just the idea of the threat model. I feel like I know what that means. And at the same time, I'd like to see what Raul thinks. Threat modeling helps the security or development team understand the threats to the given system or deployment. Okay. This isn't anything super structured. It's just we're doing threat modeling. Zero trust, trust boundaries. When should threat modeling be done? Trust boundaries and threat indicators will change over the course of time. And so should the threat model. Okay. So when they're talking about the threat model, it's really Kubernetes or my take then is Kubernetes as a whole can be attacked in these ways. It has this these angles of attack, and thus that makes up the threat model of how somebody might try to penetrate or how to take advantage.
That's what ChatGPT is saying too. The Kubernetes threat model is a comprehensive framework designed to identify, analyze, and mitigate security risks associated with Kubernetes clusters.
Yeah.
But then it breaks it down into control plane security, node security, network security, application security, operational security, and then supply chain security. Which is like image security and the pipeline security, like CI/CD pipeline.
Mm-hmm.
Operational security being monitoring and logging.
Mm-hmm. Right. Different boundaries. So we know, what ports we leave open and how authentication might work or how authentication could be compromised. If somebody snuck in an image, just like one of the great demos that we saw from the lady who worked at Aqua at KubeCon 2018 or something, did an amazing live demo during the keynote where literally she just spun up just a tainted image and then accessed another, that image poked a hole into everything, and she popped up over another tab and just had full access for kubectl to do anything she needed to as an administrator. This was a while ago, but it was, that was kind of like scared straight. Like, oh, I've been in prison. Like, oh, that's what can happen if you mess around. The Aqua Lady's going to come and take over your cluster, or worse. That's what it felt like, and that's how the lore goes that we talk about it. You do not want that to happen. Okay. So, I feel like there's going to be some interesting questions. I feel like I'm a little, I'm excited to take it to see kind of what they ask about and to see where my own comprehension, where I think my comprehension is on the breadth of this stuff. So I hope to have that to bring back to you all, or at least I can report in to say, was it worth it? And I'm either going to be tilted that the questions were trash, and I'm going to complain and give you a bunch of excuses, or I'm going to say, wow, there were some interesting things there. I really need to brush up on my terminology. I need to better understand the current threat model. Even this was 2019.
Well, I didn't know what they meant by.
Yeah.
I've never heard the term threat model before, but apparently that is the term they've given to the all-encompassing everything that makes up a Kubernetes cluster and everything that touches a Kubernetes cluster. What are all of the various vulnerabilities that exist in that? What I guess they're defining as a model, like the Kubernetes model, and what's the threat of it?
Interesting.
What threats exist around it? That's how I'm interpreting the term.
Yeah.
That's how I don't know if other people do that. I mean, that's just how I learn. Like, I have to understand, why did they name something the way they did?
Right.
Because that helps me remember. It's almost like those, how you, like, some people rhyme things together so they remember it. I forget what that's called, but
association or image association.
Yeah. I do it from understanding where the term came from in the first place.
Yes, it's a great memory trick, and 100%. Especially with, it seems like in Kubernetes or just in tech, it's probably in every industry. Words get recycled and just like hijacked a little sometimes. And I won't go any farther than the word manifest.
Oh my gosh.
If there was ever a word that got hijacked, and this isn't even a ding on the Kubernetes community, but when you get into people associate something to a word, and then just that word is now used for 10 different things, and everything's a manifest. And
library, framework, bomb. I feel like that's used a lot too. Platform.
App. I got called out for using the word. Oh, chat. Can't even say chat anymore.
Well, you are abbreviating it.
I don't have time for the GPT. We don't need to rehash that. Compliance and security frameworks. What might this be?
Frameworks. There's a policy framework.
Yeah.
That I'm aware of, but I don't know. I've been doing like business development stuff lately. So that's where my mind's been at. So I've been kind of out of the reading the blogs.
Well, understood. And right, we're not always, this is the time to dip back into the unknown. Kubernetes compliance, security, multi-layered. Certainly, when I think of Kubernetes, I think of multi-layer everything, much less security. Start of the SDLC, quality standards, scanning of components in the images, and the whole SBOM, bill of materials, all the way down to an image has a bill of materials of every library and in binary that was installed in the image, right? Then you it's this version of log4j is embedded in this one, and God forbid log4j be exploited.
This stuff's come so far, though. It changes so quickly.
Definitely. Okay, then
CIS benchmarks, sure.
CIS benchmarks.
Is that a framework? The CIS benchmarks is under the framework section. Okay, that's not, I guess, okay, see, they're using the word framework in a way that I would not. I would think of a framework as a set of APIs that have been like deployed as either like an operator or something that you can leverage within Kubernetes to automate security and compliance. CIS benchmarks, I mean, I guess you can install Trivy and set it up to scan for the CIS benchmarks automatically. I don't know, whatever. I don't think it's a framework.
CIS framework works with any Kubernetes distribution. Yeah, it's just a set of rules. NIST, National Institute of Science and Technology. Boom. Sam, check me. The NSA, never heard of them. Okay, they say it right here. Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency. The CISA. Thank you for your service. Okay, and then the MITRE at ANDK, the MITRE attack matrix for Kubernetes. This is cool. This is a hackery thing. I actually don't trust the hacker speak anymore. I used to, in like 2005, but like, come on, really? You don't need to flex on me. I know you're smarter than me.
1337.
This I like. I still like that one. Weak cloud credentials, corrupt image registry, kubeconfig vulnerability. This is cool. This seems like a good framework. I would love to know more about this framework. Because it's this I connect with. It seems super practical. Hey, what dashboards are you exposing? Intentionally or unintentionally? Do those have vulnerabilities? Is your kubeconfig too open? Are your apps secured? Privileged
I
containers?
just sent you something.
This is a really nice one.
You got to click the link I just sent you.
I've heard that before. Okay, this is more to tech. Awesome.
Look at that matrix.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay, I don't know the difference there. This is great. Let's see. Techniques. Oh, man. An adversary may use a cloud service dashboard GUI with stolen credentials to gain useful information from an operational cloud environment. GCP Command Center. The GCP Command Center can be used to view all assets findings or find security risks. Public IP addresses. This is cool. So, MITRE? Is it MITRE or Mitre?
I would say it's MITRE.
Okay, let's go with MITRE, like the saw. MITRE attack.
It's a globally accessible knowledge base.
Is it just a knowledge base, or can you run a tool? Oh, are you reading it here?
Yeah, I was just reading it. Doesn't say anything about a tool.
Okay.
I think when you hovered over the CTI at the top there, I think I saw downloads. Software. Nope. And it's just a database.
So something might... There may be tools that, like CIS, utilize this and check for certain things. That'd be cool. Yeah, Sneak and was another Trivy and Sneck. Oh, Sneak. Don't step on Sneck. Sneak is the weird, scary dog. That's why I didn't even want the T-shirt, because it's like, yeah, I don't need scary dog. Oh, they don't even have it front and center. What the heck? It's just up here. Sneak, scary dog. See, I didn't really want
Doberman.
Yeah, it's like, Sneak. Our dog will murder you in your sleep. Sneak. That's all I see. Anyway.
I should have picked a corgi.
corgis used a lot. At any rate, this is, I feel like these are the types of things just to kind of wet my whistle in terms of what we're going to get into with the KCSA. Once I take the KCSA and pass it the first time, please, because I don't want to take this test twice. I really don't want to take it twice because it's so painful just to take the test. But it's been so long since I've done it. I've got enough courage built up to get out my driver's license, which is brand new. Show my driver's license. Hey, man, take my money.
Get the new pink one?
No, that's cool.
I think the new ones come and they like have like a pink hue to them.
I'm not going to show it on screen, but you are correct. I would give you that, and I did not know that. I didn't even recognize it, but you are 1,000% correct, per usual. Thank you for letting me know. I have a pink driver's license now. Difficult to fake. So, the last thing I wanted to bring up, there's not a lot of info on here on the internet about this test. It's pretty new. It just came out last, I think in Q4 last year, or Q1, like just 6 months ago at the most, or most recent. The only study guide, the only stuff I found on the internet that was any good was from this guy. And he posted this in December of 2023. And there's some practice tests on Udemy, which is interesting. Some stuff about Kubernetes security in Pluralsight, Coursera, and some ebook. So this is not, that's it. I mean, there wasn't anything on Code Cloud. So shout out to Code Cloud. You know, the one membership I do still have. Nothing in Code Cloud yet about it. So, you know, I think if I was giving advice to, you know, people coming into this test, if this is your first CNCF exam, good luck. Maybe start at KCNA, which I think is where you should start. Honestly, KCNA, CCAD, CKA, this one, CKS. If I was to, you know, put them in the order of, hey, I'm a new person in Kubernetes management or in cloud native cloud management. Would you agree with that general flow? It's probably you start here.
I mean, I would. I just hesitate on these new tests, the ones that are kind of generic, because they're just. I feel like they're more, almost like Jeopardy-ish, where you're just like have to memorize random facts or tidbits about just the space. Yeah. And whereas like I would almost say the CCAD is probably the most straightforward one, because it's like that actually tests your knowledge of, do you know how to use Kubernetes? Can you deploy an app? Can you like, that just seems so much more tangible to me. Like the questions are just very I don't know. Whereas the other ones are just like, what's the most popular CNI? I don't know. There's like 5 to 10 of them out there. And what's the most popular? I don't know. Right. I know what one I think people use the most, but I don't know what one the test taker thought when they made the test.
Okay. So here, let's make the clip for YouTube for Sam. Okay. So if you're going for the Kubestrat program, if you're going to get all 5 certifications and you're new to platform engineering, or maybe you've been in platform engineering or cloud native development and you're trying to get started for the first time, the DevsOperative recommendation as a group who's taken all of the tests except one, which will be taken in 2 days from this recording. The order in which you should take your CNCF tests are KCNA first. Sam, put it right here. KCNA is not first. Start over. Cut that. The first one you should take, CCAD, the developer test. It's a practical test. Test your knowledge, get your feet wet, do something real, not theoretical. Then KCNA, A little more theoretical. It proves that you've been in the industry for a while because you like have to remember all these buzzwords and like kind of tried all the CNIs once. Then CKA, I think, again, super practical. You're going to learn a lot of stuff and it's hands-on. You're going to be exposed to more and more things. And it's at that point you probably want to, we may revise this, but it would then be the KCSA to learn what the attack surfaces are, learn about the Kubernetes threat model, test your knowledge there. KCSA, maybe. I'm taking it on Friday, so we'll see. And then you cap it off with very hands-on, very practical CKS. And we may revise that and switch them. And we may find out that the KCSA, not worth it, except to get the coat. Except to get the jacket.
Got to get the coat.
It may not be worth it. Maybe worth the jacket though. Looks nice. I may.
If you take this test, yes, when you take this test on Friday, will you have all 5 and be able to get the coat?
Thank you for asking. I will not, because in order to be a Kubstronaut, they all have to be active at the same time, and I let my CKS lapse by like a few months, so I need to recertify CKS. That's not a great one to have to retake. By November. I have to retake CKS. So lots of stream content. And I agree with your other statement a while that you made. A lot's changed. Like most of the stuff that gets released with Kubernetes, there's a lot of little notes that nobody talks about. That's a ton of stuff regarding security and the threat model, and making sure those would be good. It's so important, but it's always forgotten. Those would be
such good streams, but so boring.
It is dry.
It's not good stream content, honestly.
Nobody likes to talk about it. It's not sexy. No. Oh, do we have? Look at this S-bomb that I generated, and then you find a business person. This helps me generate revenue. How? Well, I've categorized all the different libraries that are in that image. And can you explain how that helps me? Your app is more secure. Okay. I can appreciate that. I do want a more secure app. There is business value there. It's just so hard. It's so boring to make the business case. Which is what you and I try to do. That's what our job is, like make a business case for this tech. And it makes it tough, but that's where the challenge lies, Dan. So that's what I got for today. And thanks for helping me study for the KCSA. We will find out if it's worth it. If I was to bet on future Dan's response to the KCSA next week on stream, there's a 51% chance he's going to be tilted.
Yeah, and I will say we have not forgotten about what we kicked off last week.
Yes.
And I would say that probably next week we might start that.
Sure.
We'll probably kick it off with hearing how it went for you. Talk about that for like 10 minutes or so, and then jump into creating a new Kubernetes cluster, potentially.
10 minutes? Have you ever met me? Sofa would say I'd talk for 2 hours just on that. No, that sounds good. And I think we're going to try some creative ways of showing how we do the imaging of the thing. I was thinking maybe we could I might be able to pull in my Mac as another stream entity here, or we could pull in multiple, a couple of our machines, or maybe a phone on a screen that's doing the imaging or doing the setup of some of the things if we can't get them on one of the streamer devices. So
I think we can just join with our Mac and share the Mac's screen, and then have one of our phones join, and that can just show the cluster.
Yeah.
And I can sit down there if you want to sit at home where you're at right now. I don't know.
At the mothership and control all the bits.
At the mothership.
From Megadesk. Sounds good. Yeah. We have not forgotten about that Raspberry RPi OS, server OS, or the Lite. RPi Lite is the server OS. we're going to give that a shot. And then
Right.
KubeADM and see where that leads
Yep.
us. Yeah, I like that. Well, good.
All right.
Anything else for the
next
viewers?
week.
No? Okay. I hope everybody had a wonderful time on stream with us today. And I hope everybody has a great rest of their week. And as always, talk to you next week. Cloud Native Coffee Hour. Thanks for joining.
Adios.